Okay, chapter 3, historical aspects of the sport and business industry. And questions to consider while reviewing this chapter are: what are some ways the history of sport business industry can be helpful to a sport management executive today? What are some advances in technology and communication that have influenced the development of the sports industry? And how have historical developments related to endorsement and sponsorship marketing affected the sports industry? So let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 3, developments. So the summary of this chapter provides some sketches of some significant developments that took place starting in the 19th century and describe the foundation for the development of business of sport as we know it today in the United States. Events include innovations, entrepreneurs, a history of the sports management, and also provided in this chapter some lessons relevant to possible career paths in sport management. Historical aspects, growth of the urban population, modernization of sport, and technology. And you'll see this one come up a lot as technology changes, so does the face of managing sports. Historical aspects, Spalding and Brothers, one of the most first successful sporting good firms. They were key, and you probably know Spalding products as balls. So one of the major things they did is they diversified the company, which means they made more than one product, and they experimented in marketing goods and services, and they became the first modern sports business enterprise. Some things that led to their success you have here is vertical integration, diversification, development of the modern management system as we know it today, and the promotional skills, otherwise known as marketing, of the Spalding brothers. You'll read in your text and then on the assignments of the All Blacks. It's a rugby team, famous rugby team, and their footprint on sports management. Other historical aspects of the sports market, development, the segmentation, endorsement, and advertising. Text talks about the advertising of baseball players and during that time of Babe Ruth, Horace Wagner, and how they help push products just as they do today, and at that time was relatively new thing. And then this last thing here, increased participation in spectatorship. So as you see more and more people going to games and events, selling tickets creates another avenue of sports management. Some watershed events, the bicycle craze. So as bicycles took off in the early 20th century, I had to make tires, so that was a big watershed event. And it shows several lessons to sports marketers, such as understanding how to cope with intense competition, importance of promoting and testing success in various marketing strategies. Segmentation, key sports segments over decades, methods of reaching market segments, so different areas of the market rather than just focus on one particular group. So 3 groups: sports participants, sports audiences, and sport equipment purchasers. So those 3 make up the segmentation in that key point. Endorsement advertising. So as I mentioned before, Louisville Slugger used endorsements of several players such as Babe Ruth, Horace Wagner, and Ty Cobb to establish brand name recognition and move their product out. Competition and cooperation. the First World War increased the attractiveness of sporting goods in three different ways. So, number one, military training of soldiers brought a new source of revenue. The war had an immediate impact on the sale of sporting goods, equipment, and demand for such equipment as that increased. And then the belief that sport would nurture and develop manly traits was further solidified by war. Sport tailored to appeal more followers, televised sport as commercial entertainment business, and revolutionary plans for covered games. So as television takes off, so does increase spectatorship. Okay. The effects, we talked about the goods and the effect that it had on that growth, women's interest into growth in sport as well. Documentaries on ESPN. So those of you who do follow ESPN, that's a good chart of some auxiliary stuff you could watch. Social media's arrival, social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, also all relevant as well. Business school ideas, theories, models, Guy Lewis, Stephen Harding, Fielding. These individuals educated and trained in history, a significant impact in the development of growth sports. So as you do move in your journey through sports management, these three individuals have varying aspects of the significance of growth in sport. Critical thinking and ethics. The sports industry between 1927 and 1930, leaders in sporting good manufacturers association established a code of ethics for sporting good manufacturers. So within the competition, or impacted competition, they did come up with a code of ethics. This concludes chapter 3 in contemporary sports management. And chapter 3, which includes the historical aspects of the sport business industry.